Hey guys, my name is Matimio, and today, since Medal of Honor was just released, I have been investing a lot of time into the game. I'm really enjoying it so far. I think it's a lot of fun, and one of the aspects that I think is just fantastic is the sniper class. I find the playstyle to be very satisfying, a lot of fun, but it's very different than Battlefield 3 and more specifically the Call of Duty franchise. In COD, you can basically be extremely aggressive, you can quickscope all over the place, and while I think quickscoping in a sense will be possible in Medal of Honor, it's going to be nowhere near as crazy as the Call of Duty franchise. Even for Battlefield 3. In Battlefield 3 you can play very aggressively because of the recent, not really recent, it's been months since the change, but DICE has made it so that if you get a upper body shot with the bolt action rifles, it's a one shot, one kill. But for Medal of Honor, to only get a one shot, one kill with a bolt action rifle is to get a headshot at any range. Even if you are standing right next to them, you get a body shot, it's I think going to do around 90% of their health, and it won't finish them off. Granted, I have not played with every single bolt-action rifle. I'm still unlocking a lot of the guns. There are a lot of guns to unlock, so I'm continuing to progress in that manner. But I have a feeling there really isn't going to be any bolt-action rifle out there that's going to be a one-shot, one-kill for a body. I think it's all going to have to be headshots. And because of this, and for other reasons, I honestly feel like you have to play it very differently to those other games. And I'm going to kind of explain why throughout the video. But hopefully this will give you guys an understanding of how I approach the sniper class, how I play it, and in general this will hopefully give you guys some tips on how to play this class appropriately. So the first reason why I really believe that you have to play this class much more defensively and kind of play the support role is because it takes a long time to aim down sight. If you've played Medal of Honor Warfighter and you play the sniper class, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. It just feels, it doesn't feel clunky, but it does feel like it takes a lot longer to get your crosshairs up when you compare it to the other two games. I'm not saying that's a bad thing by any means. It just means that if you try to run around like you would in Call of Duty, you're not going to have a lot of success with it unless you're using your pistol and your sidearm. Because if you do try to just kind of quick scope everyone that you come across, you're probably not going to be all that successful, just for the sheer fact that it takes quite a long time for you to get those crosshairs up. And this also kind of compounds with my other point, and that is if you want to get a one shot, one kill with the bolt action rifles, you have to get a headshot. And so this really doesn't leave you a lot of room for error like it does in the other two titles. So it's kind of just the combination of it taking such a long time for you to aim down sight and the fact that you don't have a lot of room for error and you have to get the headshot to get the one shot, one kill. It's going to be extremely challenging for players to try to play as an aggressive sniper with the bolt action rifles. Don't get me wrong, I think some people out there are going to just completely master the mechanics for the sniper class, but for average players, or even for me, it's not going to happen, and every once in a while you're going to get those amazing shots off. You guys are going to see here in the video where I do pull off some pretty crazy shots, but it's part luck, and I don't think it's going to be the norm for most players. So with those two things in mind, the developers have also given players an ability that allows them to deploy a bipod down in a location either on the surface or just going prone, and gives them a little radar on their minimap that detects enemies that are moving around. And I think it also spots for you automatically, and overall it's just a fantastic ability for the class, but it promotes more of a campish playstyle, and it's clear that they want you to kind of lock down corridors and defend objectives. So the fact that they give you this ability that's a little bit more campyish and pretty much is for defensive playing, you can't run into into a firefight, lay down and deploy this thing. The only way you're going to be able to use it successfully is if you lay it down and kind of chill out in a location and snipe people that come to you or go to a capture point. So it's clear that the fact that they have this ability, the one shot, one kill is only for headshots, and it takes a while for you to aim down sight, that the developers kind of wanted, or I'm assuming the developers are wanting players to go down this more defensive and support role. So for me, when I play as a sniper, I like to play on more objective game modes like sector control, which is what you guys see here. It's basically your conquest or your domination, depending on what game you're more familiar with. I kind of stay away from team deathmatch, considering that those spawns are much more sporadic. It's a lot harder to predict where the action is going to be coming from. And as I mentioned, you really don't want to be surprised as the sniper or with the bolt action rifles. When you're surprised and the enemy gets a drop on you, it's probably going to result in your death. And I find that with especially sector control, I can really understand where the action is going to be coming from. I know where enemies are going to be heading, and I can put myself into a position where I'm going to have a long range advantage on them, or hopefully just get the drop on them in general and get that quick little headshot off and take them out. So I move around the map very methodically. I try to get in a position where I can lock down a corridor, try to defend an objective from a key location, or even if my allies are attacking a position, get into a location where I can set up and try to take anyone out, or flank someone that is trying to take out my allies on that capture point. And for the most part, I have a lot of success with it. As you guys can see here in the video, I am going on some pretty crazy kill streaks, and one of the main things is that I kind of avoid actually jumping on the capture points themselves, but since in this game, you're going to see here that I do jump on them every once in a while, my teammates really weren't playing all the objective all that much, and I felt like I should at least try to jump on the objectives just to try to get my team back into the action and hopefully win the match. So it was a little disappointing that they weren't playing the objective as much, but that being said, I still try to avoid jumping on the objectives as much as possible, because when you do that, the enemy knows kind of where you are, and in most cases you're going to be confronted with a close encounter engagement. So when you do get into those close encounter engagements, I would really recommend using the pistol. The pistols in these games are actually quite powerful, and that is especially true for the sniper class. They get an automatic pistol that can blow through the enemy extremely quickly. It does have a fair amount of recoil, so you just need to make sure that you're managing that, but do not underestimate that bad boy. I got into a lot of sticky situations where I had a feeling that there were a couple enemies around the corner. Instead of just trying to round the corner and quickscope them, I switched to my pistol that is just a lot more reliable and then blew them out of the water. So if you are confronted with those situations, either get a little, a quick shot off, hopefully you'll get the headshot, but then immediately switch to the pistol, or just start with the pistol in general and take them out. It's very effective. So another thing I've been getting a lot of use out of is the proximity mine. If you're not aware of what it is, it's basically a souped up claymore where you throw it on the ground. It takes a couple of seconds to activate, but once it does, any enemy that runs past it is going to get blown to smithereens. It's not going to blow up instantly. It does give you a couple of seconds, or maybe a second, for you to run out of the way once you've actually triggered it. But as of right now, it gets me a fair amount of kills, and I think that's mainly due in part because people just do not understand what it looks like. So I have a feeling that once more people play the game, they play it for longer, they'll understand their surroundings, and it won't give me as many kills. But I think that's going to be okay, and I don't think it's going to make that grenade or the proximity mine completely useless. Because as of right now, I will place it down near an objective or a choke point around an objective where I'm not really checking out that spot at the time, and I'll kind of be scoping out another spot on the map. And when I see that it was activated on the minimap, I will know that either an enemy blew it up through a grenade or something along those lines, and they've probably either trying to flank me now, or they're heading towards that objective that I was trying to defend. And because of that, it's gotten me a lot of kills. It even happened a couple of times in today's video, and so I'm finding that it's a great way to kind of section off and kind of control the map a lot more effectively than you would first expect. So I'm really enjoying it. But yeah, guys, that's basically my introduction to the sniper class. I hope you enjoyed. But before I go, I would love to hear what you guys think about this class. Do you like it? Do you dislike the playstyle? I'm loving it so far. I think it's very satisfying, but I would love to hear what you guys think. If you guys enjoyed today's video or just want to support my channel, like always, I always appreciate it when you give my videos a rating, and if you haven't already, subscribe for more. But until next time, guys, have a good one and take it easy.